I'm about to host my first B&B customer. So let me tell you how that happened. So I thought I was gonna go to the beach to be with the ocean and play around with some energy with someone, do some Tai Chi, and make this video for this Kickstarter or just to describe my show. And then I decided I don't think I can be with anyone else's energy right now, especially someone I don't know that well. Like is in such a raw, delicate stage that, yeah. So I decided, I could go to my parents' house that we've been trying to sell, and it's on the water and it's not the beach, but I could sleep on the land. It's so kind of funny. It's this really big house and it's really nice, but yeah, I prefer to sleep in the air, So I brought my tent and I thought, wow, I can do this. I don't have to pay to even go to a campground. I have this house. And then it just hit me, like I have this house, I lived here for a little bit, taking care of it and trying to get it ready to sell, like last year and the year before, and always something happened. Like one time it flooded, one time the ceiling caved in, and now it's finally on the market, but it hasn't sold. And back then I thought about maybe, I thought I would end up buying it, like, because I'd make a bunch of money soon, or yeah, like when I thought I was getting married, I mentioned that. So, but it's here now, and the house needs to be lived in, and even if it's not going to sell, like, yeah, why not live in it? And I realized I've been looking for a retreat venue for like 3-4 months since I hosted this sexuality meetup, and I'm like, I could do it here. And I've been looking for space. I'm getting like frustrated, and I know it's good to be with my parents still, but it's just, and here's space. And really, I wanted a place to connect. Like, there's no internet here, there's like nothing. And I can sleep on the land every single night. 2 days ago, I registered and I charged on my credit card the fee for it was $2,700 for this trip to Merida, Mexico. And afterwards, I wasn't like the chills or, like ecstatic. It felt like nothing, and I was a little bit afraid. I was being impulsive. I just know it's so absolutely right that I'm meant to be there, like that. Yeah, it's like, if I know that, what else is there? Who cares if there's debt or there's some consequence I have to pay later, which I don't think I will, because I'm, following the guidance of the whole planet. So that night I asked, how I just wanted to do something to make it feel real. So I decided to celebrate, and I connected with the child inside, and I made a piece of art, really simple. It was a collage. But I asked to just keep remembering that I'm supported, and to show me how to connect with my heart, how to stay there. Because I know that's where everything comes from, my abundance and intimacy and enjoyment, pleasure. So I made this collage, and it was pretty, but then, so I did this 52 card swap thing where you make art out of a 52 card deck, and then you send it to this amazing woman, and she has artists all around the world, and she mixes them all up. So in a few weeks you get 52 cards, but each card is made by different artists. So I got mine back finally a couple of days ago, and so I've been kind of pulling them like tarot cards, and I picked one for this collage without looking, and yeah, on the collage it said, "Nature is speaking," with a woman in a floral gown holding a bouquet of flowers, and it said, "The garden glows," or "you glow from the garden," something awesome. I think I put it in her power center or her yoni. And then and there was like a tree with roots growing up, and birds and butterflies, and then on the other side was this, it's kind of stern looking woman, very Anglo, and holding a tree, like, again, reminding me of this headpiece tree thing I keep thinking of. And I put a sun in her center, and it said enchanted, and it was like a sun and a moon, which I think fucking 15th is also going to be an eclipse. And like, I wrote the moon story during an eclipse, and it said enchanted, from the mundane to the magical. And I was like, yes, that's how I want people to feel here in this house. Like, enter this magical world. It's a temple. I called it Goddess Temple on the water. And I'm picturing this mythical, like literally floating on the water thing, but you know, waterfront, whatever. And I realized I'm just gonna describe it however I want. Like, I used a little bit of like salesy language, I guess, but no, I felt like I was just authentic, and I was like, if people don't get it or think it's weird, whatever, we'll see what happens. And I made it really affordable because I was thinking about people like me who, like, you know, have desire and appreciation, and they just don't have that much money, you know, but like, they deserve an experience of like exquisite. We all deserve an outer reflection of our inner beauty and opulence, you know, in all kinds of ways. So I had been hesitating doing Airbnb because I was like, one, I just kept thinking that it was going to sell. And then two, I felt like it was a distraction. I mean, I don't want to just be worried about like making things perfect for people. But then I was like, okay, it's on the market. It should be in the best condition it can be anyway. It's good for all these other reasons for me to be here that I mentioned earlier. And to see it, yeah, as this beautiful space that allows me to give to others, you know, even though I keep thinking I'm like broke, right? Like, it's crazy. So I started right away, and yeah, I stayed up for 3 hours writing the listing. I got my first inquiry. She didn't stay, but it was great. Her husband was an artist, and she's a PhD, and she said it looks too good to be true. And I was like, that's exactly how I want people to feel, because it's magic. And yeah, the person who's coming tonight came here by boat. There's no dock here, but she found one close by, and yeah. And I think it's gonna pay for my trip. I mean, if I keep getting them. So yeah, maybe this is my Kickstarter. Oh, and I like was excited because I'm like, oh, and people can come and just totally do their own thing, or they can make it a retreat. Like, I don't have to advertise for a retreat. It's like people who want a retreat and they want to go deeper, then I could come to them in my own home and give them everything, and they can rest and like be in nature. And okay, so as I'm walking around these rooms, I realized that there's one, it's a guest room, but there's no beds in it anymore. So I turned into a little meditation room, and I put this old painting of Kuan Yin there that I had done. And I have been doing these, connecting with certain feminine masters through this, because of this book, the Sophia Code. I've always have a close relationship with Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. Not always, the last couple of years. But, and like Ishel, and yeah, a couple others. But I've been looking at these specific ones because of these books, the Sophia Codes. And Kuan Yin is one of them. And so, and then all of a sudden I'm walking in each of the rooms, and and the goddesses are like speaking to me, like, this one's my room. So the bar room is Hathor. What used to be my brother's room is Mother Mary. What used to be my room is Mary Magdalene. The master is White Buffalo Woman. The living room, which we are now in, is Isis. And dude, I ended up dressing a little bit like in that whatever atmosphere. That was an accident, you know? The family room is Green Tara. The other thing I realized about how important it is for me to stay here again is that this is a house where, this is where I lost my virginity, in that room where Mary Magdalene represents now. And this is where I found out my father was having an affair. This is where my mom cried and screamed on the back deck by herself. while my dad like was in his own world, helpless in the family room. Looked at all this stuff for a while, but I realized, there's a level of like, it needs to be alchemized, like digested, which is very physical. And it's like, yeah, after I listed it, after I was excited and I put it up, and then I got feedback, which I didn't expect that fast. I mean, response, not feedback. And so I started like, working, and I was like sweating all day. It was humid, and I, wasn't turning the air up because it's really expensive here. So I, yeah, it needs to be alchemized. And so I sat in that room, my old room, the Mary Magdalene temple, and I lay where the bed used to be. Next to it is like a stain. It's disgusting. It was the first time my parents saw me drunk. I very rarely got drunk because it doesn't feel good, but I did, and I had a TV dinner of Swedish meatballs, which is actually pretty good. But I threw it up, and there's a white big stain there. My mom was so disgusted. Anyway, I lay in that spot, not where the stain is, but where the bed was, and I could feel the old, not intensely, but it was like I could feel what the feelings were in my body that hadn't fully been felt. Like mostly it was feeling like no one loved me best. Like I wasn't good enough to be what someone chose. And, that was from the first time I had sex, but it was, of course, really from my mom, that's what's happened only in 2 days. So I have 3 more people coming. One person's coming all the way from fucking Korea. He's a naval person, and he's going to go to Annapolis. He's coming straight from Korea. Like, how amazing is that? Oh, so I wanted to get flowers for the guests and for myself. That's the thing. The beauty is like the more I give to others, the more like I'm buying stuff and beautifying in a way that I probably would feel like it was a waste if I was alone to do all the time. Like once in a while I'll get myself flowers, but it's now I have to keep it up, right? For other people, and then that benefits me and I get paid. So I put the flowers up, and then I was thinking I should take pictures. Oh, not that I should. I took pictures to send to a friend to be like, this is awesome. Because we just went to a retreat together, and that house was great, but this is better. And I'm like, and it's been there this whole time, just asking for some attention, just like I am. That's the thing. The home is me. Like my whole show, which I, thought I was going to come here and like relax, but mostly it was like to make the hoping to be inspired to make this video, but I knew I couldn't push it. And I realized, yeah, I don't need to make the video. The video is the idea is just for me to like reflect on my life and what this show really is about for me, which is about coming home, realizing you're already at home, and that the whole world is in our body. Like the world is projected from our bodies. And so when we change the inner state, the outer world changes. So, and I've been doing that at a spiritual and emotional level, but this actually doing it with a physical home that like, I never think of it as the home I grew up in, even though I was here since I was 10. It's the place I've lived longest, but I still consider it like the new house, the big house. Yeah, I spent a lot of time here, and sad years, to really let it experience how beautiful it is and let myself enjoy it as I'm learning to do it with myself and my own body. And then just sharing that with other people, and that being, the way that I'm sustained. Okay, so then I was taking pictures to send to my friend, and when I sent them, I sent the one of the collage that I had made, and this picture of these flowers that I had arranged with like a note welcoming the first guest. And when I saw them next to each other, it was eerie. It was eerie. It was prophetic. And I realized it is and it isn't, because in a way it's just who I am. Like the same person that was attracted to those shapes and those ways are going to keep creating them. But if you forget who you are, then noticing that reminds you that you're the one creating everything.